Hey, what's going on? Ryan here with Intersection Records. The Rock and Roll Hall of Fame inductees have been announced. I've done shows about this before. Award shows like the Grammys, American Music Awards really don't mean anything anymore. Maybe they never did. The Rock and Roll Hall of Fame doesn't really mean anything either, but we want to talk about this anyway. By the way, subscribe to my channel if you like great music, if you like hearing about great music. We're not necessarily talking about great music here, but we are talking about a couple of things. Some people maybe that got snubbed, some surprises that I think are good. Let's just start with those who got in. The White Stripes got in. You know, Jack White's a darling boy of the media, and everything he does seems to get great reviews, and he's a great guitar player. Seven Nation Army, he's played in every football stadium as an anthem. I think that's a pretty worthy thing. They did the duo thing with him and Meg White. I saw them live 20 years ago or so. It was a pretty cool concert. Bad Company, legendary English rockers, signed to Swan Song Records and did nothing but produce hits from 1974 to 1982 when they broke up. They ended up getting back together with a couple different lead singers, and then finally getting back together in the 90s with one of the great vocalists of all time in Paul Rodgers. We have Mick Ralphs, of course, Simon Kirke, and Boz Burrell. Mick Ralphs has been sick. He's still alive to know that he's in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Unfortunately, Boz Burrell's passed away a long time ago, and Simon Kirke and Paul Rodgers are still doing the Bad Company thing. It'd be cool if they got back together and did a tour. Maybe they could do a tour with the snubbed Black Crowes, who were snubbed. One of the Robinson brothers did play guitar for Bad Company on their last tour. I don't know why I can't think of Rich Robinson. Chubby Checker is finally in. He's 83 years old, famous for the song The Twist. And then when that money ran out, they did Let's Twist Again. It's just silly. I mean, he's a pop star, one-hit wonder, the definition of a one-hit wonder. But he's been nominated for years. They finally let him in. Joe Cocker, yeah. Joe Cocker didn't write songs, but he was a great interpreter of songs. He also had Mad Dogs and Englishmen band featuring people like Leon Russell. Had one of the great bands. Chris Stanton on keyboards. One of the great bands of all time. They performed at Woodstock. He's a legend. Joe Cocker. Nobody sounds like him. Nobody sang like him. And of course Joe Cocker should be in. Cyndi Lauper. I mean, I don't know. Billy Idol was snubbed this year. He was the nominee. Is Billy Idol more worthy of a Rock and Roll Hall of Fame than Cyndi Lauper? I love True Colors. I love a couple of those songs that she had just on a guilty pleasure level. True Colors and her other big one. I can't think of the name of it right now, but that's what we're talking about. We have She Bop, Girls Just Want to Have Fun. She didn't write those songs. She's in. Female artist in, as we need on every one. We're going to have a tit for tat on that, just like with the Outcast getting in. We got a rapper in. Okay. I don't even want to go into his list of accomplishments. I'm not sure what they are, other than he was popular and he's in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame very early into his being eligible. Okay. Phish has been around since 1984. They just finished last night a 3-night run at the Hollywood Bowl that were all sold out. They toured the world. They tour all over the United States and sell out where they go. Play multiple night runs. They're playing 3 nights at Folsom Field, the football stadium in Boulder, Colorado this summer. Okay, they do multiple night stands everywhere they go. They got a huge following. just great musicians, but they're not worthy of the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame years after being eligible, where Outkast is very early in his being even eligible. Soundgarden, yeah, Soundgarden's a rock band. Soundgarden, unfortunately, Chris Cornell has passed away. Sounds like drummer from Soundgarden. Matt Cameron will now be in with two bands, Pearl Jam and Soundgarden. But, Soundgarden, certainly rock and roll. Those who got snubbed, Black Crowes. Rock and roll band. Formed in 1988 or 89. Had some huge albums. Shake Your Moneymaker. Southern Harmony Companion, or whatever it was called. Musical Companion. Awesome record with songs like Remedy. Cover of Hard to Handle that they did. Otis Redding's song was on the first album. Just a quintessential American rock band. Rock and roll. It's personified in the last 30 years is Black Crowes, yet they're going to wait again over people like Cyndi Lauper and Outkast and Chubby Checker. Billy Idol, great career. Was in Generation X before he went solo. Certainly with albums like Rebel Yell, had huge success in the 80s. Kind of reinvented himself with a little bit more modern edge in the early 90s. Just put out a great album that I'm going to review later today. I like it a lot. Maybe it's not great, but it's pretty damn good. New Order / Joy Division did not get in. It's just a shame. You've been around for 40 plus years. And if you want to include the Joy Division going into the 70s, very influential band. Definitely somebody that should be getting a chance to not reunite with some people like Peter Hook, who are now solo, get inducted in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame over bands even like Soundgarden. Mariah Carey didn't get in. Well, she had tons of hits. A lot more hits and number ones than somebody like Cyndi Lauper. But Cyndi Lauper's older. Fish, again, I'm a huge Fish fan, if you know this channel. They won the fan voting thing by far. Blew all the other competition away, yet they don't get in on their first year on the ballot. They've been eligible for a long time. Winning the fan vote in a landslide isn't enough to get them in. That doesn't make any sense to me. And then Oasis, those brothers, much like the Black Crowes brothers, the Gallagher brothers, are jerks, and I don't necessarily like their music. But boy, are they rock and roll. Certainly waved that flag for a long time. Here's a couple things that I think are cool. They have a new Musical Excellence Award in Nicky Hopkins, piano player on Rolling Stones albums. Nicky Hopkins played on everybody's albums. Jeff Beck records. He literally was a Swiss Army knife for bands that needed keyboards on their albums. He's played on so many things. There's a pretty cool documentary about Nicky Hopkins out there on the web and streaming services. Carole King, from bass player in the Wrecking Crew, played on hundreds of albums, Beach Boys records, lots of things that she did. She's being recognized for musical excellence, and that's where the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame is getting things right. Several years ago, they put Randy Rhoads in. How do you put Nicky Hopkins in without doing it like this? You have to have something like this to do that. And then we have the Musical Influences Award. Evidently, Salt and Peppa have influenced that genre of music, which I guess is just soul, hip-hop, enough to be inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. It's ridiculous. It's absolutely don't go chasing waterfalls. I mean, just a silly song amongst other silly songs that they have in a category. And I'm not trying to be ugly, but they've been around for since the mid 90s. They certainly haven't paid their dues like a Nicky Hopkins or a Carole King in the same category. Musical influence, Warren Zevon has been inducted, and that's where they are getting it right. That's where they are taking, a musician's musician, putting him in, somebody that was critically acclaimed, somebody that, Werewolves of London, right? You got it right there, but in the same category, Salt and Pepper gets in. These are just my thoughts. I don't know. I'm just an old rocker. I wish Fish and the Black Crowes would have gotten in. You don't have to let Cyndi Lauper in or Chubby Checker in. You don't have to let the White Stripes in before the Black Crowes. It's ridiculous. And they don't care. They'll eventually let all these people in. There's the TV show at this point. And it's very, very inclusive in the fact that they have to have certain people, certain categories. You always have to have a woman in. You always have to have a person that does hip-hop in. Or a band that does hip-hop in. They have to cross every check instead of letting the people in that really do rock and roll and perform rock and roll at a high level. I don't know. These are just my thoughts. In general, getting Bad Company finally in, who's been eligible for years. How many great songs do you have to get in? Can't Get Enough of Your Love, I guess, is a Free song. They should, by the way, let Free in too. They should have let Paul Kossoff, their great guitar player. You might as well just let Free in, too. That way you can get Kossoff in. Anyway, those are my thoughts. Check out my channel. Peace out. See you.